Here we go.
Whole party in here.
What's happening, guys? How's it going, man? I'm doing good.
The hair.
Well, that's so. You must be the curls. I'm guessing. Just by the. Yes, we're on right now. Yes, yes.
Boop, 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 boop.
Hey, can we get Deuce over here?
You want her in here?
She's so great.
She would
Come on in here, dude. Come on in
Where
here.
are you?
She's the real deal.
She doesn't come in during interviews
She's trying to work
oftentimes.
the Rover Fest right now.
Well, I think you were actually even one of the bands that we talked to about Roverfest. We had a difficult time booking Roverfest this year. There were a lot of festivals and a lot of stuff that was going on the particular date, and I don't know where you guys. What was Hollywood Undead doing? What were they? Were they
already booked tonight?
They were already booked.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, they were booked for tonight, so they
Yeah.
couldn't play the show in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, all those technicalities, like you can't go to a city too soon and all that stuff. Like,
Right,
that goes
right.
right over my head. We just go where we're told to.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that kind of stuff. Like, for instance, if the House of Blues books you, they put in your contract, they say you can't play within a 100-mile radius of here anywhere
Within a certain amount of
90
time.
days
Yeah.
or something like that.
Just like I was told to go to Christie's last night.
Well, after seeing all those girls in bikinis at Roverfest, I think I'll just come just as an attendee.
Yeah.
So you guys, how long have you been on tour for now? Has it been a while?
It's been
or
a couple
you-
weeks.
Oh, so you're just really
Yeah.
starting out.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's fresh. You guys are good to go.
fresh.
That's why you're drinking at 6 o'clock in the morning. Or no, I guess it's 10
I don't
o'clock
think
in
these
the
guys
morning
even
now.
went to bed. They're at Christie's Cabaret last night.
Yeah, we're dropping that name.
Hey,
Yeah, we
it's
were
5
there.
o'clock somewhere.
We went to an Indians game. It's kind of a tradition every time we come here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A tradition of what, the 2 times we've
The
been
2
here?
times. We're starting a tradition. And it
you-
rains every time we come here.
When you go into a city when you're on tour, do you get to do stuff in the city, or you just roll in, you play the show, and you roll out, or do
Well,
you?
we had a day off yesterday, so
Okay.
some people like to stay in and do their own thing, but some of us like to party.
No, we try to go like see the sights, take our time and actually enjoy ourselves, but we're too busy drinking by the bus because it's free to drink on the bus.
Well,
So
no, that's not true. The other day in Indianapolis, we went to Comic-Con and were pretending to be nerds for the day, and that was kind of
It was
man.
awesome.
Dress up as,
Danny Trejo was there.
no, I was pretending. I think
yeah.
you were
the
just
guy
a
with
real
the
nerd.
tattoos?
Machete, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's a badass.
And Rowdy
that guy.
Roddy Piper was there.
Oh,
Yeah. You're a wrestling fan, right?
a huge no. Actually, I'm not a huge wrestling fan.
Well, Eddie Munster,
are, right?
who is it? Eddie Munster
Eddie
and Danny
Munster.
Trio are hanging out together, and
Linda
J-Dog
Blair.
runs over and says, "Hey, it's Eddie and Machete."
Eddie
So-
Munster and Machete.
To sort of set up here of who we have in the studio, the Curls is here.
Hi.
J-Dog is next to him, and Funny Man is next to him.
I'm sorry, this guy's
The curls, when he gets hung over, his hair is even crazier than normal.
What does your hair normally look like? Do you normally just have it up like in a big fro, or you put it?
Well, I'd like to put it back. It gets sweaty. And
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever.
Did you when you were growing up?
Yeah.
Did you just hate your hair?
Yeah.
That people
Absolutely.
just made fun of
it
you.
was
and-
under a hat
Yeah.
most of the time, yeah.
Does he
But
look like
now-
a young Doc from Back to the Future?
Great Scott! No, definitely. Yeah.
But now you've sort of embraced it. You're like, hey,
Yeah.
screw it. I can't
Well,
do it.
yeah, a couple years ago I had it really long, and then I went through a breakdown and cut it all off. Ex-girlfriend, whatever.
It's funny. People who have straight hair, they want it to be curly. People who have curly hair, they want it to be straight.
Well, he embraced it. He figured out how to make it work, and he's probably gonna start selling Halloween wigs eventually.
Yeah. We're going to start selling my hair at the shows.
So let's talk about Hollywood Undead. The band has been together for. First of all, are all of you original members? How many were in the band from the very beginning?
Danny has been in the band for actually a very long time now.
yeah.
since 2008.
We've been a band for 8 years.
Yeah.
For 8 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many? Well, of course, we know that there was a lead singer change and all that. But what about everyone else? Has there been a turnover amongst the band? Or
No, it's
everyone
all the
else?
same. Besides that, it's actually we get along. We're like best friends. We all grew up together. But you meet other bands. Other bands hate each other a lot more than than us. We actually love each other. So it's like the fact that it's only been one person is amazing because it's like you meet bands. It's like literally having girlfriends that you don't sleep with. There's
Right.
so much drama,
Yeah.
and it's like you get all the bads but none of the goods.
How? Where did you guys grow up together? Where did you guys?
Los Angeles, Hollywood.
Yeah.
So you grow up in L.A. What was the childhood like? Did everyone play music? Was this a goal from the very beginning to be in a band?
Kind of. We're all teenagers. We're all playing in bands together. We had a weird upbringing. A lot of us didn't go to school. Like I never went to high school. Neither did the Curls over here.
Hi.
So yeah, we all just kind of hung out, like partied and played music, and Luckily, this happened because if this didn't, I don't know what I would be doing. You know,
unemployed or something right now.
like, I have no idea.
So, how did you not go to school? I mean, did your parents just say, "Hey, were they not around?" Or
my dad wasn't really around, and my mom just didn't make me. I grew up literally like less than half a mile away from Hollywood High, and I'd be there every day, you know, like skating.
Yeah.
And I just did that every day. And I was like, oh, I'm going to be a professional skater when I grow up. Of course, that didn't happen. But my mom just didn't make me go to school. She thought like the public school system was corrupt, so she's a hippie, you know.
Right.
So,
like homeschooling.
Right.
I didn't do that either.
But this is what's amazing about this is that so your mother's a hippie. She doesn't believe in the public school system. You don't really go to school. The odds are that you're going to turn out to be some sort of degenerate who is just, you know, has no job and is in jail, you know. But no, I mean, but
you're not too far off with that comment.
But you have, you know, look, you're in a band, you have some success, you're making it in life.
Yeah, but we're still degenerates.
Yeah. He doesn't know how to like operate a car.
But the odds of that happening, though, you could still be a degenerate, but the odds of being, at least you have money to survive and that kind of stuff. So the odds of you of this actually happening were minuscule, and it's unbelievable that it actually turned out in such a way.
There's a lot of people I grew up with that aren't around now. You know, there's a lot of them, because they, you know, went down the same path I did. And for whatever reason, you know, they either got to drugs or, you know, gangs or violence, and they're just not around anymore.
What is your? So your mom probably liked when you. And then we're talking to J Dog. Your mom probably liked when you were. She probably liked your artistic sensibilities and that kind of stuff.
She always like supported me, but in a sense, when I was like 18, you know, I'm an 18-year-old kid saying I want to be a musician. You know, and my dad was in town, and they were like, "Screw that." My dad was a truck driver. He still is. He's like, "You should go to truck driving school, and that's what you need to do." I was like, "I want to be in a band." And they were like, that's not going to work.
You're not going to make any money.
You're not going to, but I was already living on my own, supporting myself. So I was like, I don't really care what you tell me.
Yeah. When we first, you know, when these guys first started the band and we all got together, our parents were like, what are you guys doing? All you're doing is hanging out, drinking every day. And, you know,
they probably didn't even think you were ever going to produce any actual music. You're just over there drinking, partying, having fun.
No, exactly.
Sticking around a little bit. But
I mean, I don't have any kids, so I don't know that fear, but they didn't support it at first. Now they love it. So
now I'm paying their mortgage.
Did they? So your dad, he was a truck driver. J Dog's dad was a truck driver. He wasn't around very often. Are you? How's your relationship with him now? Do you?
It's great now. You know, I got sent to a boot camp type reform school when I was a teenager. Mm-hmm. My sister did as well, and he actually had to end up going and working there because couldn't afford it. It was very expensive. It was in New Mexico in the middle of nowhere. They needed to like get us out of Hollywood for a little bit. You know, on like all the gangs and
he was
violence
a bad kid.
in LA, and like back in the day it was really bad. So after I graduated that program, I was there for a year. He ended up staying there, then moving away to Connecticut. But he's back now. It's cool. Hey, Dad.
What? How did you get sent? Why did you get sent there? Pretty much, your parents just, or did the court send you there, or did your parents send you there?
The parents did. I think my sister was kind of court appointed, and they sent me to her graduation. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And the next thing you know, my mom's gone. And I was like, this is really nice. I could picture myself here for like 2 days. Next thing you know, it was 1 year. Then I got sent back again like 2 years later.
Yeah. Here's a suitcase.
Do they, I mean, is this just almost like a regimen that you wake up at 6 in the morning?
I hate it at the
hardcore.
time, but in retrospect, a few years down after I left, I was like, wow, that really saved my life because when I was a kid, all I wanted to do was be in a gang, as a 13-year-old kid, and I was hanging out with a bunch of gang members. I thought that was the coolest thing on planet Earth, you know? I was like, man, that's all I want to do. So and then I got sent there. Yeah, you wake up at 6 in the morning, you eat, you work, you go to bed at like 9 o'clock at night. You do that 6 days a week. On the 7th day, you got to relax and watch like one movie and drink like one can of soda. But it's crazy. A lot of kids got sent there who weren't bad kids, and they came out worse because you're talking about like the worst of the worst put in one area.
Right.
So there was kids there that were like,
it's like prison.
It's just a boot camp, but it's like there was kids that were sent there that were actually like nice kids that I saw, and they were so heavily influenced by all these like.
You have to fit in with the people that are around you, and you're surrounded by thugs.
There's people that left there that came out way worse, and I'm talking like the success rate of people coming out of that place. Like a lot of them committed suicide, a lot of them are in jail, a lot of them are just like spun out right now.
I got sent to not this hardcore. When I was in high school, I got kicked out of high school, and they sent you to what I grew up in Las Vegas. It was called alternative, and it was basically like if you got kicked out of school before you were just completely expelled from the school system.
School.
Right.
Yeah.
Magnet
So I had to go
school.
to that for
Yeah.
like
Well, I
half
got
a
sent to
year.
Mexico and I got
It
kicked
was
out of
nuts. And like, dude, I mean, they didn't strip search you when you got there, but you had to, wear like this little uniform sort of thing, like white sort of jumpsuit,
Yeah.
and they're searching you down. I might have been the only white kid at the entire school, and it was pretty crazy. It was no good. I didn't want to go back there.
And now look where you are.
And now look at me! Wow, just a shining beacon of success on the radio. Now, everyone else did. You guys all grew up in the same? Did you know each other growing up as kids? Were you in the same neighborhood, or was that later in life that you were in sort of the same
later in life.
circles?
Like me and Charlie Scene, we grew up together in the same neighborhood, and then his older brother he grew up with like J Dog and the Curls over here.
It's kind of a small circle.
It was a small circle, but we were.
We knew each other when we were like in our early 20s, and even before that.
We actually didn't really even like each other.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah.
It can go
was
further
weird.
than that because some of our parents know each other. You know what I mean? Like some of the guys in the band, our parents knew each other before we were even born.
Really?
And then, so he grew up with Charlie Scene. My parents were like knew Charlie Scene's parents since before I was born, So it's kind of like a close little circle.
Where did the nickname Funny Man come from?
It was Opposites Day. We're like, what should we call him? Funny Man. He's really not that funny.
Exactly. That's why I'm sitting over here all quiet and shit.
Look at his shoes. They're like neon green. That's
Look
why.
at these things.
Do people expect? It's like, do people expect when you have the nickname Funny Man that you're going to be
nickname to have because people are like, oh, say
Tell me a
funny,
joke.
say something funny. I'm like, I'm honestly really not that funny.
And I'm not that curly.
And the curls, we know where that one came
whatever.
from.
Now,
Where
these nicknames are pretty dumb.
well, what do you guys? Do you guys, when you guys are out, since you've known each other, do you guys actually call each other by the nicknames or by your first names?
I kind of noticed how we are pretty good when it comes to being on stage, and we actually really do call each other by our nicknames. But off stage, it's like, hey, what's up? I'm not gonna reveal any of their real names right now.
It took a while. We used to be on stage and call each other our real names.
But
just like friends do, you just call each other what you call them.
But
I mean, everyone calls me. I mean, Rover obviously isn't my real name, but everyone calls me Rover. I mean, even I've dated girls for 2 years that have called me nothing but Rover, and it just.
Where'd you get the name?
My first radio job. My real name's Shane, and my first radio job, there was already a guy named Shane on the radio station, so I had to come up with another name, and we were watching National Lampoon's Vacation, and she calls, the wife calls the husband Sparky, and I told my buddy, I go, what about Sparky? He's like, dude, that's a gay-ass name. You can't be Sparky. You might as well call yourself Rover. And I go, Rover? That's actually kind of catchy. You would not forget a guy named Rover on the radio.
The babes love it, huh?
Oh. Well, no. If I had to do it all over again, I probably would use my real name.
Yeah.
But when you're young and you want to
Put
try
a Y
and
at
make
the
a
end.
name,
Put a Y at the end of your name. Girls love it.
yeah, really?
Put a Y at the end of any name. Just
Shaney.
love it.
Shaney would be all right, because I was gonna say Rovery. I was like, what are you trying to get at here? I don't know.
Curlsy, whatever.
But now you got a whole festival named after your name. So
dude.
Yeah, that's July 27th. Maybe we'll have you guys come out for this sometime.
I hope so.
We started
I
putting
want to
this
see all
on.
those girls
Yeah.
that come out.
Well, we do a calendar competition there, so that's how we started this. And every year for the past 10 years we've put out this Miss Morning Glory calendar.
Yeah.
And maybe about 6 years ago, we said we need to have sort of an event where we can have the search for these girls, and we'll pick the 12 girls.
Ohio's finest.
And we closed down a street downtown, and we did it there. We didn't know how many people were going to show up, and it was free. And like, I don't know how many thousands of people came, and it turned into like a riot situation.
Yeah.
So then we moved it, and now there's an admission and that kind of stuff. But that's how the whole thing got started a long time ago. So, how many albums has Hollywood Undead put out?
3.
Yeah, it's the third record.
Is there anyone? Do you always think that the one that you put out like now is the best one, or what do you? How do you compare them? Stack
Every
them
band
up.
says that, and it's like, oh, this is the best album up to date, and yada yada yada. Like, I've loved every album we've done, but this is actually like my favorite one. So like, say we came out the second one, I wasn't like, this is our best up to date. I was still like second guessing stuff.
Yeah.
But I had so much fun making this one. I think we actually went in a direction we really wanted to go in. That when this one came out and I listened to it, when I'm like really wasted on the bus, I'm like, this is the best album.
Yeah,
that's all I know.
We were all talking about it the other day, like even before the tour started, like, you know, because we prepare and we learn the new songs because we added a bunch of new songs from the record to the set. And we love listening to it. Like, we actually love playing the new songs.
I like how you guys have a full-on timeline of everything we've done.
Oh, the research. I saw
Oh, this is the research. Yes,
is that
producer.
Wikipedia?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just looking
Well,
at it right now.
pretty much that's what my producer
I don't mean to
does.
cut you guys off here.
His research is basically cutting and pasting out of Wikipedia and making bullet points out of things. And then
great, though.
then I ask him, I go, Rob, because we had the former lead singer Deuce in the studio maybe about a year or two ago, and I said, Rob, I'm reading through all this research, and there's like 3 pages of stuff about that whole battle. I go, what about the physical altercation? And he's like, what? I didn't know. I don't know what you're talking about. So then he had to go and run and get that. But that was actually about a week or two after he was in the studio with us that there was some reported physical altercation.
Yeah.
He said that, I don't know who it was, that some of the guys in the band jumped him outside of a club.
Legally, we can't talk about that, but I'll tell you this.
I know how that goes.
I've
Pending
never
charges.
jumped anybody in my life, and I don't plan on ever doing it, but can't really say too much.
Yeah, that's all I was going to say.
I'll just say my father brought me up right. I ain't never jumping nobody.
Yeah.
When was the last time that you were in I mean, you said that you grew up around gangs, J-Dog. Was there a lot of violence growing up when you were a kid, or was being in a gang more about just fitting in? Or, see, when I think of stuff what I see in the movies, you know, and like people are just fighting and getting stabbed and shot and all that kind of stuff all the time. Is it like that, or is it more just hanging out with buddies most of the time?
LA, like back, you know, when I was growing up, especially Hollywood, was really bad, and it was all like that. I've never been a violent person, and I'm still not. So a lot of that stuff I chose not to partake in, not because I was scared. If I was there, you know, I'd have to do something. But
fights definitely happen, though.
Yeah.
When you're growing up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's normal.
bars.
But literally, I'd be skating down Hollywood Boulevard because I was always into skateboard. It was like my thing. And I have seen people just get shot on the corner right in front of me, and there's a car drive away. I was like, wow. But then,
No kidding.
it's not like you get numb to it. It's just like it was a part of life. But Hollywood literally looks like, you know,
Right
Manhattan
before
Times Square now. You know, they literally kicked like everybody out,
Actually,
raised the rents.
Well, that week before we left tour, we were hanging out at this local bar that we go to a lot, and the bouncer was telling us about how there was just like a stabbing with some transvestites. And
Yeah,
then
'cause
it was like a
Transvestites.
transvestites. It was like a whole weekend of just stabbings.
Yeah.
Drunk people parking on the sidewalk, and just like people just getting beat up.
Oh man, that just happened right before I left home. There was these transient dudes, these homeless guys begging for change, and I went out and with my friend, I was on Hollywood Boulevard, and he had a picture that said "Go F yourself," this huge cardboard thing with a smiley face. We walk up to this dude, we're like, "Hey, can we take a photo of you?" And he's like, "Yeah," and we took a picture and we just walked away. 2 days later, some girl took a photo of him. He asked for $1. She didn't give it to him, and he like stabbed her to death.
It was it was a huge thing in the news.
Yeah, and I saw that dude every day for the week before I left for tour.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did he seem crazy at all, or
No, just a homeless transient. He was younger. He was like, 32 or something like that.
Actually, you know what? I went to the bar about a week before that and got in a fight. I just remembered.
What happened? What did someone started a fight with you?
It was the end of the night. One of the guys in the band, Charlie Scene, he has this cover band that he plays in. It's called Han Cholo, and yeah,
They dress up like cholos.
It's actually really funny.
That is funny.
It's
I like
pretty
that.
fun. It was supposed to be like they were supposed to dress as Star Wars characters, but cholos. But it slowly just turned into them just dressing like cholos and not being Han Solo. But anyway. So no, this guy rolls in at the end of the night, and he's being a kind of an ass, and he's whatever. But he ended up fighting everyone in the band of the cover band, and ended up outside from the bar. It like just rolled. I'm hungover, but I'm sorry.
That's all right.
But yeah, so the fight rolls out to onto the curb, and I got this guy down, and I'm holding him, trying to stop him from fighting everybody, and he's punching me in the face, and I just let it roll. I just didn't even care.
Yeah.
I don't even know where this story's going.
Well, no, I think the whole point of what you're saying is, growing up in LA, there was a lot of violence. Even before our first record came out, I used to work at an all-age venue, and I used to see fights I've seen people get killed in front of me, like the craziest stuff. But,
How do people, because everyone in the band here has tattoos all over and stuff, do you think that people, when they see you out in a bar or something like that, do you think that people take a look at you and have a certain impression of what you guys are going to be like just by appearances alone?
Yeah, people usually think we're dicks, but I mean, it's hit or miss. Some people want to mess with us because, like, oh, you guys are tough guys, huh? I'm like, no, we're really nice dudes, but we just do what we do. But people will either, stay away from us or try to pick a fight with us. But, every city has this stuff. I'm sure there's neighborhoods in Cleveland that are way worse than where I grew up. You know what I mean?
Last time we were here, someone tried to pick a fight with us after an Indians game.
Even yesterday at the diner across from the hotel we were at, this dude's like staring at us. But when he left the restaurant, I was still there, and he's just like, you guys look like you're in a band. And I was like, yeah. He's like, you play rock and roll? I was like, yeah. He's like, well, you sure as hell don't play classic rock. I mean, he's just looking at us, I
think the thing about Hollywood is because, I've seen so many places of the world now, it's like, it's everyone gravitates towards there. And I'm talking, there's like a bar every 2 feet on Hollywood Boulevard for like 2 miles.
Yeah.
And it brings so many different kinds of people. You got the jocks from Orange County coming up there. You got like cholos coming up. You got gang members from South
Buddhist
Central.
monks taking shots.
It's like there's so many people in such a congested area, and any given night,
all drunk.
Yeah, everyone's just hammered. People are like methed out. That anything could happen, and I'm talking like thousands of people. It's like Mardi Gras every weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just chaos.
Let's talk about. Look, I don't need to get into details about the Deuce thing. We've had him in the studio. He gave his side of the story. You guys have given your side of the story. I have a bunch of clips from him here, but I don't. They're all like 45 seconds long of stuff that he said. I don't think there's anything really.
I don't think we really want to elaborate a lot on it.
No, but let's talk about making a switch of like a lead singer sort of change.
Well, we knew Danny, our singer, for some time before then, and it was a very easy transition.
So you didn't have to audition anyone. You didn't have to do anything. What about how does the record label respond? Because you put out a record. You put out 2 records with Deuce, right? Okay, so he's on.
We put one record.
Okay, one record.
We got 2 with Danny.
So
Daniel's actually been in the band longer than we were with Deuce.
When the record label, so you put out one record, sells pretty well, first record. When there's any sort of, I don't know how it went down, but I'm guessing if I'm running a record label and a band that it's so rare that you put out a record and it sells well and you get any traction. For every band that does as well as Hollywood Undead, there are 50 that no one's ever heard of, 50,000. So on a record label, when you guys go to them and you go, we have to make a change here, someone must go, what are you guys, freaking nuts? What are you, stupid? Right? Or
I mean, they definitely weren't happy with it. And it's like, you could just look at the track pattern of like interviews and stuff. Like our guitar tech, he's from Cleveland. And like a year ago, he's like, yeah, Deuce on the radio talking trash about you guys. Like, we never badmouth the dude. You can't find it on the internet. You won't find it in interviews. So it kind of shows you who's bitter and who's mad. And the label wasn't happy about it, but they saw his personality.
Yeah.
And they, it was just one of those things, like, it had to happen, and they understood that because they were like, this just isn't working out. And, you can go listen to his solo music and see like what direction he wanted to go in and where we wanted to go. So the track pattern kind of speaks for itself, but you'd have to kind of follow us to really know.
How many people are actually in Hollywood Undead?
6.
Six guys.
6. We got a drummer named Darren Pfeiffer that he comes on the road with us.
When you guys make an album, how does the process work with 6 guys? I mean, who comes up? Do you collaborate all on the music? What's the process of putting a record together?
There's a lot of writers in this band, so it's like one guy can write one whole song and bring it to everyone. Everyone puts their input, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 6 people can write it together and just put each other in a room and beat the crap out of each other. And that's how we pick the songs for albums.
Yeah, it just depends on the song.
Writing's really easy. Like, there's a lot of writers in this band. We could write like 30 songs in a few months and record them, but picking the songs, that's the problem. Because one guy's like, well, I want all my songs. The other guy's like, well, I want more of my songs.
We're trying to do what's best for Hollywood Undead.
How do you come up with that? If you can pick, let's just say 10 songs on an album or something, but you have 30 songs to choose from, what's the process of deciding which ones? Is it a voting process? Does anyone have more of a say than anyone else? Or
it's just a debate. We're friends, but we also work together. I think we all know what's best for the group.
do you say to yourself, okay, so we already have a track that is in this particular direction, so let's put that one on, but because this other one is similar, let's not put that one on, or I mean, is it
we do try to balance it out. I mean, we try to do, like he said, it's best for Hollywood Undead, and it's like we're not going to have a whole album that's just like full of straight up rock songs or heavy songs or only hip-hop songs. So it is hard. Every album, we're like, this time will be easy. We got cool songs. We'll be able to figure it out. But no, it's never easy. It's like we do try to even it out, and we do argue a lot every single time.
Yeah.
And that's going to continue to happen forever. You know?
It's sort of a blessing in disguise. If you have a bunch of songs and everyone loves all the songs and you have to pick 10 out of 30, that's a good problem to kind of have.
Right.
You know?
Does Hollywood Undead is here with us. They're going to be at the House of Blues. The show starts at 6:30 tonight. There's a couple of opening bands. You can get tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Does everyone, now that you actually have, you made the singer change, but does everyone now, there's 6 guys in the band, does everyone share on everything equally, or how does money get divvied up?
Yeah, I mean,
we're all rich.
6 ways.
We're rich, all right?
I could tell by your platinum-covered tour bus that you rolled up in.
I can tell by the way they're hanging out at strip clubs every day off. It's hard. I mean, we split everything, touring, merchandise. It is hard to make money because people are like, you must be millionaires. I'm like, oh, not even close, because you split everything 6 ways and you pay your portions out, and
then managers have to agents,
like, that's the nature of the industry.
We got a crew. You're trying to invest in making a great live show. We love our fans, and they know that. Like, we want to keep making the best show possible.
When you guys do a live show, you say you want to invest in doing a live show. Do you guys have to put money into putting the whole live? I mean, what do you guys have to put money into that whole thing in order to go out and tour?
Well, just like anything, when you do a tour, you have an agent that sets everything up for you, and then you do a budget, like what you can and can't do for that period of time, and what's best for the group.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's really for the love of music. The first tour we did this year, the whole tour was sold out, and the band itself broke even, So I didn't put any money in my pocket, but the tour was sold out, and we promote our record, and I would do it all over again.
Do you ever feel like you're going out, you're doing all this work?
Do I ever feel like I'm in the wrong business? Yes, I do.
No. But I mean, you're the one going out and doing all the work. You're going out performing. There are other people that are probably, you say you end up just breaking even or maybe a little bit of money at the end of it, but there are other people that are collecting, your
there's
agent,
other people out there getting rich.
These kind of people. Does that ever piss you off?
Oh, all the time, but that's the nature of the beast. I mean, we're not the first band in music history to get ripped off, Yeah. It's like, it sucks because it's the artist is the person who really, like, you create the music, you put your blood, sweat, and tears, your emotions into it, you put it all on the table, you go out, you tour it, you write it, you record it, and then other people are making more money than you, and they're just picking up the phone. But then it's like, you need those people. Like, we wouldn't be where we are today without that. I mean, it's like they're probably the ones who contacted the radio station and were like, hey, can the guys come in? Like,
right.
I wouldn't know what to do.
You kind of pay for that, like the luxury of being able to just be an artist and hang out and do your thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not an accountant. I don't know how to do that. Pay someone to do it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Do you think that at the end that there will be, that someday in the future that there will be some sort of big payday or that there will be some sort of big financial reward from all of this hard work?
Well, I think the great thing about also being in a band is, people in this group are so creative in other ways, whether it's a retail line or just whatever else they want to do. We have the ability to do those things, so we're rich,
What if for whatever reason the band Hollywood Undead were to break up or whatever, what would you guys go off and do? Would you still be in?
Are you guys offering any jobs?
Yeah, you can be my researcher and come up with better research.
Funny Man will be the head foreman for like a movie set or something.
Yeah, I'll be a janitor at Hollywood High because I never went there, so I'll be reintroducing myself.
They won't pay you; they'll just give you your education.
I'll get my adult GED.
No, like Hollywood Undead will keep doing what we're doing as long as we're able to keep doing what we're doing.
Even if there's no money in it, even if you.
I don't think no, I don't think so.
No. I mean, our fans are diehard fans, and we're super connected with them. Like I said, there's countless tours we've done. We didn't make any money, and we still continue to do it. So it's like the industry is slowly changing now towards the artist again. It's like all the labels are already adjusted because of downloading. It's like there's not as much money to be made, so they started, bleeding the artist dry. But now there's up and coming people who are younger who are starting to manage that side of the industry now, who understand, like, all right, the artist is getting ripped off. In order for the artist to be happy, we need to change things. So it's like that side of the industry is slowly starting to change. So I think the music industry is going to kind of bounce back a little because people are getting smart with progressive thinking. They're not these old fat cats like, no, pay me, otherwise I'm not working.
Social media, not to cut you off, social media, just to add to what he was saying, is like so beneficial now for a lot of new artists, like we became friends with like Machine Gun Kelly recently and stuff. And that guy's born in the social media world where he has a direct connection with his fans. There's no vias. You can do whatever and talk to him directly.
Right.
I think that's a good part about social media now.
And
social media is where it's at. Man.
Most of your
check out Funny Man's Instagram.
I'm like the Garth of this whole thing right now.
So would you say that most of the money that you guys would make then comes from touring? Is that where the bulk of it is? Because there's not much
touring, merchandising,
touring
selling drugs.
is where it's at, man.
Touring.
Now, definitely touring is.
What
where
about
it's
like
at.
Kid Rock?
Yeah.
He's doing a tour. I think like the tickets are $20 or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that? How's he able to do that? That seems to me like
You should ask his manager.
I think that's a numbers game for him. $20. He's probably going to sell out an arena. Then once you sell a show out, you get bonuses. You do this, you do that. But if he did tickets for $20 and it's half sold, he's probably actually spending money to be there.
Yeah.
So it's like our tickets are $30. Like I wish they were like 15 or 10 because when I was a kid, $30 was way too much money. Yeah. But if we don't charge that much, I'm actually going to end up spending my own money to play the show.
Yeah.
People don't realize that being on tour is very expensive. The bus, the crew members, all that
last
stuff.
night. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, people,
these guys got very expensive habits.
I'm sure people these days, what they want to pay for something that they really want, and sometimes it's a numbers game where like I want to go to this concert, I want to go to that
wish we
one.
could do Roverfest for the first year we did Roverfest, it was $5, and then it was like $10, and then it was $15. This year it's $20. But what people always go, oh, you're just trying to make more money. We're really not making any more money. We're not netting profit-wise any more money. What's happened is that people go, we sold out Roverfest in 61 minutes this year.
Wow.
And
61.
people,
how many people is that?
61 people?
12,000.
Well, yeah, even over that. Yeah, a
That's
little
great.
over that.
Good.
That's awesome.
And so people hear that and they go, you're making it. But what happens is then the next year, you go back to the agents of that book bands, and they go, "Oh, well, they know that you sell out. Now everyone is mysteriously double the price that they were last year." You go, "Wait a second, what happened here?" So the costs just keep getting more and more expensive.
Yeah, I think people need to realize that. We would love to tour year round and play for everyone, but sometimes it's financially it's tough.
Yeah. Well, next year we'll do a $5 ticket for Roverfest. We'll bring you guys in on Greyhound. You guys will play the show for free. We'll give you just pay you in 12 packs of beer.
Do you have hot dogs?
Hot dogs, and we'll make everyone happy. We'll do it super cheap.
Yeah, hot dogs and popcorn. He loves that.
I think I would pay somebody not to take the Greyhound. I've taken it before, like several times. It's not fun.
We went down to
and Babes.
I took
Babes
the whole
are cool.
show to one of the guys on the show who's not here today has 2 little kids, and he never does anything with his kids. He's kind of a weird guy. So we took.
Is that the stinky underwear guy?
Yes, that's him. Yeah. So I took his family and everyone on the show down to Disney World and paid for it. We did this a few months ago, and this guy, our phone screener, the big guy behind you, he was sick, and I was going to be gone. We're going to be gone for a week, and this guy's sick. We took an RV down there, so like a nice, luxurious RV that everyone was on.
Nice.
And I go, this guy's going to be sick. He's going to get all of us sick. So I go, you can't come on this RV. We sent him down there on a Greyhound bus.
Oh, man.
So it took him like 3 friggin' days to get from here to Florida on this Greyhound.
Do people complain because he apparently doesn't he not shower and like wipe himself?
Oh, it was.
Well, I have the worst seat in this room right now because
you're just staring at this guy's soiled underwear out there.
I mean,
yeah, come on, tell us what's up with that guy.
He's the strangest guy you'll ever meet. He does not. I don't think he ever learned how to wipe properly. So anytime you check his underpants, he just has huge skid marks in there, and he's. I don't even know how. Could you even describe?
No, he wipes back to front. That's the problem.
So then he gets all in the front of his underwear, and you couldn't even describe if you've never met the guy. He's one of those guys. You might even have a friend like this.
So when he wipes, he keeps it all in the gooch.
That's right.
Right.
That's
it all
right.
builds up.
That's
builds
right.
up
Yes.
right in the front.
Yeah.
How does he have kids?
Dude.
Good question.
Yeah,
That's
you
a-
You
honestly
think he's crazy? Wait till you see his wife.
Yes. Wait till you see the wife.
Does she not wipe
For
either?
instance, I'll
is he
tell you a story.
listening to us right
He
now?
probably is.
Probably. Oh,
Where are you,
instance-
man? I want to understand you. What's your problem?
Come
can't
to my
label
show
him either.
tonight, please.
You can't label him.
No, I mean they're not.
That's his face right there?
Yeah, that's his face.
That's
on
him?
giant paper mache Jeffrey back there. Yes,
He looks
it's a-
like the serial killer from Cobra or something right there. I mean,
I'll give you an example before I let you guys go.
It's like Will
This
Ferrell
guy-
trying to look like Janet Reno.
Someone called into the show and they go, this guy's name is Jeffrey. They go, Jeffrey's wife has been on Plenty of Fish, which is a dating website, trying to hook up with guys. And I go, that's just impossible. He goes, no. I talked to her. She invited me over to have sex. And I still didn't believe it. He goes, I have pictures and video from inside of his house. And he sent them, and it turned out to be true.
Oh, wow.
So we show these pictures and video to Jeffrey. He doesn't believe it. He thinks it's photoshopped. We eventually, then she gets back on these dating sites, and it turns out there have been multiple guys, and she just brings them, but they're still together, and he's the strangest guy
So I'm
you'll
assuming he
ever
probably
meet.
doesn't care too much. He has his dirty underwear framed.
when
in
my
the wall.
girlfriend
right.
broke up with me, my friends thought it'd be funny to get me on Plenty of Fish. And I went through the process of actually signing up to it and then realized, like, what am I doing?
You're in a
And I
band.
stopped.
Come on.
I know, but I stopped myself, and I'm not on it.
Yeah.
No, I promise you that.
Is
But-
it overtly
But I
about
still
sex?
get emails every other day from Plenty of Fish, like, hey, you got some lookers coming at you.
Is it like directly just about hooking up? Like you're on there
Oh,
just
yeah.
to meet people to have sex?
I don't know. I've never been. I think it's just like a regular sort of dating site.
You kind of twitched when you said that. I saw your left eye twitch.
Do you guys?
Let's talk about babes.
Does anyone have girlfriends? Any of you three have a girlfriend?
No, the one girl, actually, she's from here, Ohio.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure her brother's listening right now.
So you
Brady.
can't say anything bad about
I
her?
don't care. Whatever.
Why? How long did you date this girl?
About 5 years.
And
She's
what
from
happened?
Dublin, Ohio.
Yeah, all right. I know where
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
at. What happened? Why'd you break up? She broke up with you, or you broke up with her?
She likes football players.
It was kind of I don't know. We just it wasn't working anymore.
Is it
It was
difficult
done.
because if you go on tour, you're not seeing each other for a while?
I mean, pretty much my whole career of touring was with her.
yeah.
So it kind of just, it got kind of,
When you're out on
it just
tour,
got tiring after a while.
be honest.
of
When
being
you're
together.
out, you do a show. Chicks want to hook up with you. I'm sure after the show, right?
Look at my face.
Look at this guy. He's funny, man. He's a good-looking guy.
Did you do it? And was there an understanding with her? Like, hey,
There was
I
never
love you, but
any
I'm,
understanding. I mean, yes, I mean, we did,
They had their indiscrepancies or
Yeah.
indiscretions.
so you did,
Yeah.
but you didn't tell her about it or anything.
No, I told
obviously.
her.
You did?
Yeah.
What are you nuts?
Well,
No wonder she broke up with you. Come on, man.
well, I mean, she did the same thing to me. It's all good.
Oh,
but
she did?
whatever, it happens.
How'd you find out about it? Did she tell you, or did you find out about it?
I don't know. Why are we talking? I
This
don't
is
even
like
know why
Funny
I brought
Man's
this
therapy
up.
right
Yeah, it's like it's stupid. Watch, I'm gonna end up getting text messages from her brother. You fucking.
I tell you what, there's a fine line between like touring. It is hard. Your relationship, there's girls that do that stuff with you. Some people do come with understandings with a significant other. Some people don't. It's a very fine line. It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, it would be extremely tough to actually have what people would consider a traditional relationship. Is that something that you would want with a woman eventually, or now?
I think you have to find someone that understands what it is, the lifestyle you live. Like, I had a girlfriend for a while when she would come out on the road and she'd be like, this is the life you live. Like, it's not always glamorous and, it's a lot of
It's
hurry
not
up and wait.
comfortable.
Right.
Yeah,
It really is not comfortable.
we're on a bus with, people we work with.
Bunch
and
of
then-
smelly guys.
But yeah, it's like, it is what it is. It can
Yeah.
be great and it can also be whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best of both worlds, or best and worst. Like I have a girlfriend, and every now and then she just gets mad at me for no reason. And she's like, "Well, you've just been gone for like 3 weeks," and I was like, "Hey, I was in this band when I met you. This is my job." And then
Yeah.
she'll come and fly out and want to stay out. I think for the whole tour, if I'd let her.
Yeah.
Like, dude, we're on a bus. It's like a dorm room on wheels. You know what I mean? There's like 12 guys in a 1-bedroom apartment, pretty much.
Right.
I can't have you there that whole time.
Just partying.
It's like a straight studio.
Stop.
But isn't it sort of difficult? So you're with this girl for 5 years. You break up. You're probably having a difficult time. Even whatever happened.
I'm
I don't
still
know.
messed. Look at me. It's like fucking 9.
We were at the strip club till like 3 in the morning last night.
It's like 9 in the morning, and I'm already drinking. I'm already 3 beers down.
But wait a second. When you're
over it.
around a bunch of dudes, it's tough. Like if you're just like at home and you can like you could be at home in your house or apartment or whatever, and
masturbating.
Right, masturbate, cry, whatever you want to do. You're surrounded. Does it make that kind of stuff much more difficult because you're in a band? There are a bunch of other dudes around. It's tough to have privacy and your own sort of alone time and thinking and that kind of stuff.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know, dude. Honestly, it's very depressing.
Yeah,
I mean, I am over it, but I'm not in a sense. But at the same time, I do have my privacy, and that's in my bunk time. If you know what I mean.
No, it's like you get out there on the road for a long time. Eventually, you go, I want to go home.
Right.
And then you go home, and you're like, I want to go back on the road.
Then do you guys have to go to like Funny Man because he's all bummed out about his girlfriend? Do you have to go like, come on, let's go to Christie's, let's get loaded?
They broke up over a year ago. Like,
this is a year
so
ago.
that book in my mind is closed.
You've closed the book.
Yeah.
It's still open in his. But
he wants to keep opening up and reading it.
I love
it's time
opening it up again and bringing it back.
A couple of
it makes me
single
feel
guys.
alive.
A couple of single guys on the road having a good time.
Being single on the road now, I feel more free, but at the same time, I feel guilty.
Yeah.
It's like, because when I was with her, I love the girl, and I respect to all you Burtons and your family out there right now if you're listening. I love you guys, but at the same time, it's just like, I don't know, man. It is what it is.
Look, I would say, how old are you?
I'm 27.
27.
Yeah.
Look, I'm no old wise man or anything, but I would say capitalize on this time
his dad
that you have.
tells him. His dad came out on the road a few days ago. He's like, stop worrying about girls. Just do it.
Right. Capitalize on it while you can. In a few years from now, you can worry about the bitches.
This is not going to last forever.
Exactly.
You gotta enjoy it right now.
Right. Yeah.
Well, what happens if we're not in a band anymore and no one knows who we are anymore?
Then you're going to be masturbating thinking about when people did.
Yeah. That's when you settle down with a chick.
Yeah.
And then you know that she likes you because, with
a rich girl.
Preferably a rich, hot girl if you can find one.
See how intense that was when he said it?
Yeah.
See, you guys have it. You guys have it great. My agent was in town a while ago. Last time he was in town about a year ago, and we went out to a restaurant, and all these girls, like the receptionist or the hostess or whatever, and they're all like coming up to me and that kind of stuff. And my agent's like, "Oh man, you should take her home. You should tap that." And he's like, "You got any girl?" I go, "No, not really." He goes, "You could be hitting a different girl every night." I go, "Bob, you don't understand. That's a lot of work."
Yeah.
Okay. It's not just like if the chick just comes over, has sex, leaves, great. You never talk to her again, fantastic. I'm all for it. But that's not the way it is. You guys, on the other hand, it might be a little bit. It might be different because you're in a band. You get to roll in and out of town.
It is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Because every girl you meet nowadays, they're just like you. Oh, you're in a band. Oh, I want to keep. They want you end up acting like they owe you something.
Yeah.
They want you to move them to L.A. They want you to come in with. You know what I mean?
Chicks assume that we're like.
Yeah,
they want you to fly to Canada to see them.
They're like, hey,
chill out
if
over
someone
there.
hangs out with a girl, they'll text them like a month later and be like, hey, I'm going to be in L.A. And it's like, oh, man, I just, slept with you in Cleveland. I don't want to see you in L.A.
No, that's totally true. Even, when we were first single, I was single when we first started touring. You meet a girl.
Yeah.
4 years later, you're like, hey, you're coming to my town. Let's hang out. No, I really don't want to do that again.
Well, it is all right. So I'm glad to know that you guys have as much your work cut out for you with the ladies too. I like hearing that.
I'm in the same boat you're in. I think it's too much work.
It's a lot of work, man. You might be the smartest one. You have a girlfriend, whatever. I don't know if you're getting stuff on the side, but hey, whatever.
We're just kidding. We just like to flirt. Honestly, we just like to flirt with girls.
Some heavy duty flirting.
Yeah, heavy flirting.
When I was 19, I was willing to do the work. I'm not willing to do that anymore.
It turns into a lot of. I don't know
put
these
a
guys.
Condom on.
No, I don't know these guys who juggle. Who have like 3-4 girlfriends at the same time, and they're seeing like all these girls like in the same time. Like I'm talking about guys like Dieter. Dieter will be seeing 4 girls at the same time.
I'm broke. That's why I'm doing that. It's too much work.
Dieter.
But you have to. You got a lot of
constantly
on the
on your phone, huh?
I mean, seriously.
It's constant where you texting her. You got to remember what story you told that girl, what story you told that girl.
Well, girls are a lot of work. I don't care what they did
He's
at work
sending
that day.
selfies to him like all day long.
Yeah,
the same one
like
to
what
4
you're
or 5
doing,
girls.
Yeah.
You're a selfie kind of guy.
Hey, you look like a selfie kind of guy.
You got it, baby.
Yesterday, he showed me a picture of a girl. He's like, check out this photo she just sent me. And he scrolled over one too far, and it was a picture that he just sent to her.
You give a little, you get a little.
Picture.
Just don't ever send pictures of your D. All right,
Never.
ever.
Hey, is it weird that I'm bringing out this book again, and I actually are opening up the book? I actually feel guilty for what I'm talking about right now.
Why do you feel guilty about
This
that?
is weird radio, guys.
No, why do you feel guilty?
I don't know.
about it?
I feel like
funny, man.
I don't know. I just feel guilty right now.
Why? You didn't say anything bad about her.
No, I
or
didn't say
anything?
anything bad about her. I just feel
You feel
weird.
bad because you're talking about banging other chicks, but you're really in love with this girl that you broke up with a year ago? It makes you feel weird, and her
she's
family could hear
listening.
that about you.
Probably, you know,
That
her
made me
family
feel
is
weird.
probably listening, and I feel horrible.
So what caused the breakup? What was the final straw?
Just I don't know. Just not in love anymore.
Yeah.
Just lost it.
He's just too wild.
Was she
too much.
Were you still in love with her and she wasn't in love with you?
We were both still in love with each other, but it just wasn't working.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. We weren't clashing together anymore. So it's like we're both in the same world of business and just too much jealousy.
Too much.
And
Yeah, what's with all the somber ass music? We're Hollywood Undead.
No, like he lays in his bunk, and I swear to God, I hear like the tiniest violin playing.
It's like Barbara Walters in here.
Hey, we're not gonna end on this note, right?
I know. I was like, I hope this interview's not over.
No, we have a bunch of strippers coming in who are going to shake their asses in your face to wrap up the interview.
Turn that
Have
music off.
you seen
dude.
that
Come
movie
on.
Swingers? He's like that dude. Like
I'm like John.
You just have to
Favreau
get this
from
guy out of his
Swingers,
funk,
literally.
right? You have to, You have to do something. I don't know what you have to do.
Man, coming to Cleveland is just
the deal.
crazy.
Yeah.
Just coming back to Ohio, it's just too many memories.
You could meet
It's
the girl of your
destroying me.
dreams tonight. Then maybe what it is, you're trying too hard to meet someone.
I
Now.
thought I met the girl of my dreams last night at Christie's, but she walked away with some chicken wings.
She was a student just paying her way through college. Is that what it was?
No, she just walked away with buffalo wings farting on the way out. So it's just kind of
Ohio,
True story.
Like, as a state, they have like the hottest chicks. It's like, and then there's Canada, but for some reason, Ohio is just like
Ohio is up there, huh?
I think
Yeah,
it's
it
just
really
the
is.
Midwest in general.
We also have a lot of fat chicks
Midwest.
here too, though. I could show you a lot of ugly chicks around.
Maybe I'm
Yeah.
a chubby chaser. That's what I'm getting at. You know?
It's funny. Chubby Chase, our sound guy who runs the front of house for us, he's got this weird obsession with fat girls, and he won't admit it.
Dieter likes them. Dieter likes
There
the
you go.
fat girls.
I hate skinny chicks.
Really?
I feel like
How
I'm gonna
big are we
break
talking,
'em.
though?
Yeah, how big are we talking?
Oh, deuce and a half at least. like a meaty man.
Like up top or in the rear end area?
Oh yeah, I love the bigs.
The hips, the ass.
I'm all about the bigs, but he won't admit to it.
So no wonder- you gotta own it.
Yeah, he
You gotta
won't.
own it, man.
He won't admit to it. I mean, I saw the girl he was with today that he brought around, and I mean, she had the proper thickness.
Yeah, proper
I mean,
thickness.
proper thickness. She was a good-looking girl, but it wasn't. I mean, just looking at her, it's like, yeah, dude, you do like that. Yeah, and he won't admit to it.
Well,
No
you
wonder
just call
Diener's
them out.
broke though. If you're a
Yeah.
chubby chaser, it's expensive. All those dates.
All those
desserts.
2 for
That's a lot
$20s
of-
at Applebee's that you have to
It's a
do.
lot of Big Macs you got to be ordering.
All right, Hollywood Undead going to be at the House of Blues tonight. What do you guys do? You going to go home and go back to the hotel, bus, whatever, nap? Is that what you guys do before the show?
I don't know. I'm gonna try to exercise.
Yeah.
We
The
gotta
workout.
The show starts at 6:30. There's a few bands opening up for them. And for tickets, go to Ticketmaster.com or call 1-800-745-3000. Their website, HollywoodUndead.com. Thank you guys for coming in.
And you know
Is
what?
this it?
Girls should come out for Funny Man. He needs a woman.
That's
now
right.
and then.
Oh, my God, yes. Go out there and just throw your panties at him on
Yes.
stage.
Hey, you girl at Christie's last night with the leopard dress, please come back.
Hey, thank you guys for coming
Thank
out.
you, man.
I've got to take a quick break. We'll be right back on Rover's Morning Glory. Hang on.